Kiki Iriafen, USC women put away Minnesota despite JuJu Watkins' struggles. Los Angeles. There was no concealing her frustration by the waning minute of the first half. It burned visibly off JuJu Watkins as she smacked her hands while walking back on defense. It burned as she held her hands up in a sort of plea to the heavens, walking back up on offense. It burned as she muttered to herself. Another baseline jumper clanked off the iron a few seconds before the end of the first half. Watkins exited shaking her head, tapping her teammates' hands. Her shoulders drooped under the weight of a career-worst start and expectations only she could possibly understand. This was simply an out-of-body experience, not the good kind. Watkins shot 0 for 10 in the first 20 minutes on Thursday night against Minnesota. She finished the night with 20 points, shooting 7 for 24 from the field. Fourth-ranked USC, 19-1 overall, 9-0 Big Ten, still beat Minnesota 18-4, 6-4 by 13 points, 82-69 behind a strong night from Kiki Iriafen. I have a lot of trust in her. I have a lot of trust in her IQ of the game and of her feel of herself and her teammates, head coach Lindsay Gottlieb said of Watkins after the game. But there's 5 of them out there. There's 15 of them on the team. And we all need to kind of pour into one another, lift one another up, and figure out how to be the best team possible. That's been a process, simple as it might seem. On the surface, this USC powerhouse has had no problems for 2 months, other than a few long road trips and some cold weather. The Trojans are unbeaten since a November 23 loss to Notre Dame, steamrolling solid conference opponents. They beat Purdue last Wednesday in Indiana by 42 points. But each week has been a process, for Gottlieb and company, of how to fine-tune the finer points of an offense that bristles with weapons. A group of talented freshmen have tried to fit rotational roles as floor spacers and tertiary options. Iriafen has worked for months to understand how to find her spots in the free flow of Gottlieb's USC offense, and senior Talia von Oelhoffen had visibly struggled with her shot for months, shooting just 14.6% from three-point range since December 7. The reason for von Oelhoffen's inconsistency, and the reason for all of it really, was the sheer mental adjustment to an offensive overflow of talent. I think I'm more open than I've ever been in my career, the former Oregon State guard recalled Tuesday. And I think that's kind of gotten to me, because I've always been face-guarded or hugged up on. Now, I'm standing there wide open, so I just got to step up and knock it down. She stepped up just fine Thursday, burying a couple of first-quarter three-pointers to snap a slump and give USC a lift as Watkins struggled early. And USC showed the full teeth of its roster from tip-off to buzzer, a wealth of complementary options, finding a collective flow state that bodes plenty well as they try to fulfill their national championship aspirations. We talk a lot about roles, and whose role is what, so trying to play into your role, but also be you, and be confident in what you do. Von Oelhoffen said Tuesday, I think a lot of people are starting to come into their own in that way. Look no further than von Oelhoffen, who finished with 8 points and 6 assists. Look no further than freshman Avery Howell, who hit 4 more threes a game after hitting 4 against Purdue, thriving as a self-described release valve. And look directly at Iriafen, who had one of her most authoritative games in a Trojans uniform, dropping in 23 points on 9 of 11 shooting with 11 rebounds. In early January, carrying enough on-floor angst about her offensive role that it became visible to Gottlieb, Iriafen sat with her head coach for a check-in conversation that the star forward's former Harvard Westlake coach, Melissa Hurley, said made her more comfortable on the floor. And Iriafen attacked Minnesota's defense with the confidence of a number 1 option all night Thursday, looking increasingly settled in operating from a variety of spots on the floor in USC's free-flowing offense. She stepped behind the arc, which Gottlieb has been encouraging her to do, for back-to-back three-pointers in the first quarter. She attacked the first half glass with abandon, and as Minnesota center Sophie Hart attacked USC's defense in center Rhea Marshall's absence, the Golden Gophers star finishing with 18 points, as Marshall was scratched with a day-to-day injury, Iriafen went bucket for bucket with her in the third quarter to buoy a USC run. And Watkins, nothing if not relentless, attacked second-half double and triple teams en route to 20 second-half points, as USC put another quality Big Ten opponent away. "She's a very mentally tough human being and basketball player," Gottlieb said, "and finds a way, at some point, to figure it out."